Yo, what's up, guys? So today I want to talk about an exciting topic, which is the top 10 best clone minifigures of all time. And this was a difficult list to make. There have been so many great clone minifigures that it's hard to pick just 10 to make it to the final list. And obviously, because this is my list, it's the best list of all time. Just kidding, but without further ado, let's get started. Let's start off with some honorable mentions, and I really like the paratrooper design. There are three of them. There's the 187 paratrooper, the Geonosis paratrooper, and the 212 paratrooper. And really, I really like the helmet design, and they also have some pretty cool details on the torso and the legs. And I think the 212 paratrooper comes with a comma. But these guys aren't really significant in the whole history of the Clone Wars. There are a lot more named clones that get a lot more attention, so that's why I'm leaving them out of the top 10. But I would consider moving them back into the top 10 just for the cool design alone. Here's an honorable mention that might be controversial, and for me, that's P1 Rex. Now, this one is super nostalgic for me since it was the first name clone that I ever owned. But I had to leave it here because it lacks dual mode of legs, and honestly, there's a better Rex later on this list, so I figured that I'm just going to leave this in the honorable mention, but there's no shame in having this guy in your top 10. Your honorable mention is the Wolfpack Jetpack Trooper. And honestly, this one is also a controversial pick. I love this minifigure, but I just figured that there were more important clones way later in this list who also have cool designs, so I just put this back here in terms of significance. But again, if you have this guy in your top 10, I completely understand. Alright, let's get into the top 10. So number 10 is the Kashyyyk Phase 2 Trooper. I'm a big fan of how LEGO used to design Phase 2 clones. The helmet mold is great, and the camo armor just looks awesome. And I've got a ton of these guys, and I really hope LEGO remakes them someday, just without the helmet holes. They're not named clones though, so that's why they land at number 10. But they're super cool, and I love to have more of these guys. Number 9 is Phase 2 Commander Cody from the ATT set. And Cody is a badass, but I've never thought his armor was the coolest. But you have to admit that the detailing here is still really solid. It has some cool brown stripes at the top. It has his orange visor. It has the gray armor plate on the bottom. It has his orange and gray cartridges. The detailing is just phenomenal. But without the jetpack, it just doesn't hit as hard. It's still a great figure, but not top tier. So number 8 is the Galactic Marine, and I'm so happy that LEGO finally made these minifigures. I mean, the coloring scheme is perfect. I'm a huge fan of the crimson color. And you get 4 of these in the Clone Turbo tank that was recently made. And these minifigures even come with a backpack, so that's nice. Now there are some downsides to this minifigure. First, it doesn't come with a cloth comma. That would be great. And they're also recolored snowtroopers, so they just feel less significant than the others in this list. So number 7 is P1 Fox, and I always thought that Fox had some of the coolest armor in the Clone Wars series. And I just really love the detail in the torso and the helmet. Even comes with the visor, the pauldron, and the comma. It's all really nice. Now, I feel the same way about this minifigure as I do about Rex. It doesn't come with dual motive legs, and it could have been so much better. So number 6 is the Shadow ARC Trooper. Now this figure looks incredible. I'm a big fan of the black armor with those light blue accents. I just really like it. And it doesn't really appear in the canon movies, so it's great that we got this minifigure. It came in a polybag, so it feels special. But at the same time, it's not in any of the movies, so it feels less important than the ones further down this list. And let's be honest, it is kind of overpriced just because of its rarity. And I might move it back in this list, but still, visually it's a great minifigure. Number 5 is Arc Trooper Echo, and I think this figure is seriously underrated. I mean, the detail is insane. The arm printing is great. I mean, his left arm, the arm with the hook, the machine arm, whatever, has a lot of great detail. And I know that, maybe he shouldn't have a hand there, but still, it's still a great minifigure. I mean, the leg printing is also nice. The torso printing is great. Even the head has the cybernetic ports. Now, LEGO really went all out here, and honestly, I could see this moving even higher in the list. I'm a big fan of this minifigure. So number 4 is Phase 2 Commander Gree. And I always thought Gree had some of the coolest armor, especially in Revenge of the Sith. And I know that there are two versions of Gree that LEGO made. I don't really care about the difference. It's just a dark gray stripe versus a dark tan stripe. Either way, it's a great minifigure. The camo design, the dark green tones, the visor, it just all works so well together. And this minifigure is definitely top 5 material. Number 3 is ARC Trooper Hammer. The fact that this guy came in a battle pack is insane. I mean, this figure would 200% be locked behind a $150 set these days. And I'm just a big fan of the crimson coloring, the light blue tones on the torso, the legs, and the helmet. The red antenna is nice, and the crimson cloth pauldron, absolutely fantastic. I mean, we don't really get that anymore. So, I don't think I need to explain further why this figure is elite. We saw this coming. Number 2 is obviously Phase 2 Captain Rex. I mean, we all have a soft spot in our hearts for Captain Rex. Now, this minifigure is the best Rex minifigure ever made. The cloth pauldron, the helmet detailing, the improved legs compared to the P1 Rex, and I'm just a big fan of the dirt printing on the torso. It makes him feel much more, warlike. It makes him feel like he's genuinely fighting in a war. And you could easily argue that this should be number 1, and I wouldn't even disagree. But this minifigure is elite. So number 1 is Phase 1 Commander Wolf. The best clone minifigure in my humble opinion. The wolf theme design on the helmet and on the legs is absolutely fantastic. You add in the black visor, the black antenna, and the black comma, and you get the clone with the most drip in all of LEGO history. And the only two that could compete with P1 Wolf are P2 Rex and Hammer. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.